Halloween is directed by David Gordon Green, and it serves as a sequel to the 1978 original Halloween movie, and it also ignores, the events of every other film in the franchise, and for good. And I really much appreciate that because all the other sequels suck. Like Halloween H2O was fine. Halloween H2O was fine. Halloween 2 was okay. It was not good. Halloween 2 was not good. The 1981 film was not good. Uh, Halloween H2O was fine. Okay, whatever. But like everything else was just it was just not. Halloween 3 Season of the Witch was just ignored Michael Myers and Jamie Lee Curtis and just focused on the supernatural Halloween trick-or-treating aspect. and for and then everything else just sucked, like the cult of Michael Myers and like his niece and resurrection. And yeah, and then we got the Rob Zombie, the two Rob Zombie movies. And yeah, just garbage after garbage. But besides the original Halloween movie, I thought, like I said, Halloween 2, the 1981 film, the original Halloween 2, with Jamie Lee Curtis and Donald Pleasance, was not good. It was not good, but it was better than the other. It was better than Halloween 3, which wasn't even a Halloween movie, a Michael Myers Halloween movie, and Halloween H2O are the only acceptable ones besides the original ones. And now here we are with the 2018. This Halloween, came out in 2018. I did not see this movie in theaters. I think I rented this movie, um, I think 2020, like I want to say October 2020 or 2021, post pandemic. Definitely post pandemic is when I rented this movie. And after I rented this movie, ladies and gentlemen, I immediately bought this movie because it was so good. This 2018 Halloween movie is amazing. It follows a post-traumatic Laurie Strode who prepares to face an escaped Michael Myers in a final showdown on Halloween night, 40 years after she survived his killing spree from the original Halloween film. Okay. 40 years. So yeah, like I said, it ignores the events of every other film. So this Laurie Strode, it's, I don't know, it's kind of like a retcon, a reboot. It's kind of like a reboot or a retcon. She's not no longer the long lost sister of Michael Myers. They just completely ignored that, skipped all that. It's just the original one, the original film, and then this film. So yeah, ignoring everything, just in between. So after the events of Rob Zombie's horrible Halloween 2, that was just a dumpster fire, garbage. A garbage dumpster fire is Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, the 2009 sequel to the 2007 remake of the original one. Two consecutive follow ups went into development from former rights holder Dimension Films, respectively, but neither came to fruition. As a result, the studio lost the rights to the intellectual property, which were later obtained by Blumhouse Productions with John Carpenter's involvement. Carpenter, who disagreed with the remake's portrayal of lead killer Michael Myers, planned on helping the studio to make the next Halloween film into what he believed to be more terrifying than the preceding sequels. David Gordon, filmmakers David Gordon Green and Danny McBride, who who co-written this movie with Danny, um, they were already fans of the franchise and the series, proposed their vision of to Blumhouse and Carpenter, and it was accepted and development into a sequel to the original. So yeah, like this movie when it came out back in 2018, a lot of people, a lot of critics really loved this movie. Not just the critics, but both the critics and the general audience members. Everyone loved this movie. And it's so good to see Jamie Lee Curtis. And if I remember watching the trailer, even though I did not see this movie in theaters, I did remember seeing the trailer for this movie, and it looked, watching Jamie Lee Curtis like you know, shoot, practicing, shooting, practicing, her shooting, her at the gun range. She looked badass and ready to take on a fight, take on a fight like with any, not just Michael Myers, but with anyone who comes knocking on her door the wrong way. Um, but yeah, and I love David Green's direction in this movie. The scares in this movie were very effective, and I love the tone. It does feel like the original one, ladies and gentlemen. It does feel like the original one. They carried it from the original one to here. I would say this movie is the best Halloween film since the original one, and a great return to form for the whole entire series. Um, and and yeah, so let's just go right in and talk about everything I loved about this movie. All right. This movie brings back Jamie Lee Curtis as Laurie Strode, Nick Castle as Michael Myers, and John Carpenter, who helped direct the movie. I mean, look at that! Like the original actors are back. The idea of making Laurie, actually prepare for Michael on his next killing spree, excuse me, so she can kill him herself is pretty nice and proves that she is a very brave and badass woman. And she kind of reminds me of another badass woman from another horror franchise, which is Ellen Ripley from the Alien franchise. There was some great acting in this movie, mainly from Jamie Lee Curtis, who returns to the iconic character of Laurie Strode, and Andy Matishak, um, who I'm so sorry, who plays her granddaughter, Allison. Michael Myers himself is still the intimidating and scary figure that he was 40 years ago, and Nick Castle and James Jude Courtney both do an amazing job at playing him, but he no longer has to be humanized at all from the previous Halloween films, and his connection with Laurie is removed to be mysterious. So yeah, like I said, there's no more of that stupid. There's no more of that twist that she's his his long lost sister. Um, it's just ambiguous. It's left like that, like a question mark. There are a couple of clever Easter eggs in this film that Halloween people, fans of this franchise, will very much appreciate and notice, and you will notice if you're able to pick them out, and throwbacks from the first film and the other sequels, which is pretty nice. The soundtrack in this film is top notch and sounds much like the original one, while having a synthwave feel. There are some amazing character development, especially with Laurie Strode. I mean, she is Laurie Strode, who went from a smart high school girl in the first film to now to a post-traumatic like Sarah Connor slash Ellen Ripley esque gun carrier who's been preparing for Michael's next escape. Like she's waiting for him. Like she knows and she's ready. She's just waiting for him. And Many fans of the original have praised this film for living up to the original and capturing the terrifying tone that it had. The setting and cinematography are very chilling as it captures the suspenseful tone of the film and its predecessor has. It rescued the franchise as it ignores the events of the other stupid sequels that began to water down the whole entire franchise. I mean, come on. It's just like the whole like niece, like Jamie Lloyd, like Michael Myers' niece, like the cult of Michael Myers, and like giving him an origin story. And then like, what the hell? and then whatever the fuck Halloween Resurrection was. Um, Trick or treat. Trick or treat, motherfuckers, motherfucker. Oh my god. The characters are in this film are unforgettable and entertaining in their own ways, especially the post-traumatic Laurie Strode, who's been arming herself ever since her first encounter with Michael Myers back in 1978. And this film also, if you pay attention to it very closely, there are no continuity errors behind or last minute changes, and actually brings up some of the events of the first film as it's a direct sequel to it. I mean, of course. Um, like I said, like I mentioned before, David Gordon Green. I loved his direction for this film. It was amazing. He did a great job. There are certain scenes that are unpredictable and terrifying, and you will appreciate them. And after the credits, Michael Myers' iconic breathing can be heard, and it's revealed that he is still alive. Um, do I have any issues with this film? I mean, it's not really an issue, but like a nitpick. I wish they would have like. I mean, this is not the first film that's done this. A lot of movies and like these franchises, these big, huge franchises, do this often, do this sometimes. But I wish they would have like retitled this movie or give it some sort of subtitle, instead of just leaving it like Halloween, because it could yeah, like it can confuse newcomers with the original film. Like if you say, oh, like if I said, like if someone said, like if my friend says I love Halloween, I'll be like, okay, which one? Like the original one, like the 78, or the 2018 one. So, see, it could be very confusing, but that's just whatever. That's just like a little very extremely minor nitpick, critique. Not even an issue. It's just a straight up critique. Um, the plot is quite unoriginal, I will say, with many plot points being reused from the original Halloween film, Halloween 2, and Halloween H2O. I'm not saying that this movie is a direct sequel to the original one, but if you've seen Halloween 2, the original Halloween 2, not the Rob Zombie one, and Halloween H2O, that you might notice some similarities with the plot points and details. Um, I thought, in my personal opinion, I thought Dr. Sartan, turning evil and killing Sheriff Hawkins was an awful idea, executed even worse, even though he intends to study Michael Myers. I mean, like, what was up with that? Unnecessary. Um, there are these other side minor characters, like Cameron and Ray, who are unnecessary and contributed very little to the film. That's another critique, not a straight up like not a straight up like flaw, or negative, or a con. But yeah, I've already reviewed Halloween Kills. It's an old video, back when my YouTube channel was still new. So I've always seen Halloween Kills. So after this, I'm gonna be watching. I am gonna be rewatching Halloween Kills on my off time, but I will come back and I will post my review for Halloween Ends. So I've already reviewed Halloween Kills. Um, but um, I will say that after this movie had a lot of influences. This movie would later influence other horror movies coming after this movie. So this movie, which came out in 2018, the 2021 Candyman, and the 2022 Scream, and the 2022 Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and The Exorcist Believer, the 2020, which came out in 2023, are all frequently cited as taking inspiration of this film's approach to rebooting a horror franchise. So I guess the film, those writers, producers, directors, everyone everyone saw this and they got a light bulb. A light bulb appeared above their heads. I will say, this. I have seen Candyman and the 2022 Scream movie, or Scream 5. Candyman and Scream are both excellent. They are great movies for, for rebooting a horror franchise. Those movies are great. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which came out, I did see that on Netflix. I think it was like a Netflix original. I haven't seen The Exorcist Believer. Um, I was thinking about watching it in theaters, but I decided, I might skip it out because I saw the reviews. Because yeah, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and The Exorcist Believer both got like negative reviews. Yeah, those two movies are not good. They are really bad compared to the 2021 Candyman and the 2022 Scream movie, or Scream 5, as I call it. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I have to say for Halloween. It sucks because after this, the whole franchise just goes downhill because was not good. Halloween Kills just Halloween Kills just I liked that movie's effects, the score, cinematography, and the performances given by all the cast members, but the screenplay, direction, and plot of that movie, Halloween Kills, was just awful and was poorly developed and poorly executed. Halloween Kills, and it just keeps getting worse with Halloween Ends. So yeah, get ready for that. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I have to say for Halloween, this 2018 version. Thank you so much, everyone, for taking time to listen to my review, my thoughts. Please like and subscribe. Definitely subscribe because that would help me and my YouTube channel out a lot. I mean, seriously, I'm thankful for your support. I appreciate your love, your enthusiasm, all of the above, and I'll see you in my next video. Peace.